Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to continue to work on this M670. I want to try and get the front end, this frame and all this stuff all rolled out from it today. That's the goal. I don't know if we'll get the engine off or not, but if we got time, we'll do it. But to start off, I'm going to get this tin working stuff here off the fuel tank. I want the fuel tank kind of to be pretty much ready to come off too when I go to pull the motor out. That way, basically it'll slide right out the front, be real easy. So that's what we're gonna do. I got a lot of the bolts already out. Just got a couple of them here holding, the tin work here. So we're gonna take that off, and that's what we'll do first. Had just dusting of snow overnight. The ground was still kind of warm yet, so most of it just melted, which is fine with me. But later here this weekend, they're talking maybe a little more snow. We'll see what actually happens. So, like I said, now for the most part, the fuel tank really isn't that bad to come off. It'll just be easier when the motor's out. I'll have all kinds of room at the front to get it out of there. But I think today we'll obviously have to get this stuff off that I didn't necessarily want to do yesterday, and then we'll get. I think I'm going to take the hydraulic pump off this motor. This motor is going to go inside, but I'm not sure. I might save the crankcase. I might sell it. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it yet. But either way, I think I'm going to take the hydraulic pump off, take the water pump off, just get some of this stuff off of here. So that's what we'll be doing. Let's start with getting this alternator off of here first. A lot of grease and dirt from, I'm sure, a lot of years packed on the front of this engine. I think we'll take this off next. Must be 1/2 inch. Somebody, you guys can see that very well. Somebody had to use some spacers there, but on the farm sometimes whatever works. There we go. It's turning. This in, maybe. There we go. I get, last night I was editing the video that I would have posted this morning. Now the part 2 I posted just here a little bit ago, but I was editing the that video, and I thought of something that kind of neat that I'm going to show you guys. It's going to be part of that. It's going to be part of the New Year's video that I'll post, tomorrow, which will be actually on New Year's. Kind of neat, something that we're kind of proud of, I guess, but just a little surprise. Some of you might probably already know what it is, or I'm sure some of you probably recognize them, but we'll post that. I might make a short, just kind of a little teaser for it, but it'll be full description, and you know, talking about it's going to be in the year in review video I post on New Year's Day. So gonna be kind of a good video. I'm hoping. I'm trying to, you know, decide what all, trying to remember, I guess is the term, what all exactly was new this year, and make sure we don't forget anything. Get that out of there. Oh, I'll knock you guys out. There we go. Belt off. Or out of the way anyways, sort of. So let's see if we can get this lower bolt for the alternator out of here. And some of this stuff is, you know, not exactly fun to get wrenches on and get to. But, you know, we'll get it one way or another. Like they always say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So we'll figure it out. You guys probably can't see it, but we are gaining on it. Tell this, you know, this nut wasn't very tight until whoever put the belt on probably was fighting the same problem. Probably just said screw it. Work that loose a little bit. I hope this, I'm not sure if that bolt's gonna come out of there or not. Just, you know, the point of some of these videos is just show you guys the joys and the headaches of working on some of this stuff sometimes. But it's all part of the hobby. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Just about there. There we go. Should come out of there. There we go. So, as you guys can see, this is a Delco Remy alternator. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm guessing it's no good. It does not. She's locked up. So, more than likely, it's not any good. But you know, like the pulley, stuff like that on there is good. But the alternator itself, I'm guessing is going to be garbage. We can get this belt out of the way. Bump you guys out of the way. That nice brown paint underneath there. You know, I've seen that a few times on tractors we brought home. You start scraping that, you know, that 30-year-old grease and stuff off there, and the sun never baked the paint, and you know, the paint looks just as good, but then in some cases the grease and stuff eats the paint right off, and then it looks worse. But most of the time, though, the paint underneath looks pretty good. My power washer is currently in hibernation, so alright, let's go ahead and see if we can get those off of there. Got a couple bolts here. The bracket will come off with that. I'm gonna move you guys over here. We're gonna take, working at section there right here. We're gonna get these lines off of here now. So them off. I'm not sure if there's any oil in here or not. Doesn't look like it. Good sign is it is fairly clean in there, though. I'm hoping I can use this pump. Might put a seal or two in it, but we'll cross that bridge one of these days. Okay, now let's get these out up here. Of course, the dog, he's always, you know, I'm sure you guys see him in a lot of the videos. For those that didn't watch that intro video we had, or, you know, the video talking about us, his name is Rat. But very playful. He's Australian Border Collie. He's about 5.5 years old now, but always wanting attention. Usually he's got one of his toys over here, wants you to throw it. I don't see one at the moment. Now that I said the word, now that he's gonna go find one. But okay, now that'll come off. I actually have two dogs here. The other one I'm sure you guys probably never ever see. I wouldn't necessarily call him lazy, but he lays around a lot, stays up by the house, you know, unless we're doing stuff with cattle. That dog is very good with cattle. Whereas Red over here, you know, we always joke around, he's better with herding cats. So he doesn't, you know, he's kind of scared of the cows, but the other dog, you know, he's not scared one bit. He'll go right in there. But both good dogs. It's the voltage regulator for the alternator, for those who don't know. I know, like a lot of these tractors, especially when we change the ones from generators over to alternators, we go and get the GM one-wire alternators, you know, and then you usually don't need all that stuff. Then it looks a little cleaner, and you know, it works, something that's always going to work well. see, we're just about ready here now to go ahead and yank this front end forward off of here. I did already set up the jack. I got that set up underneath here. I got just a little bit of pressure on it, but there's a flat spot right here. That's, you know, a good spot for this. I'm gonna put blocks in front of the tires, front and back. You know, don't want it to roll. So just be as safe as possible. But we're gonna maybe come over here and trying to get this. I don't want to get this water pump and stuff off of here yet too. Next, where to sit you guys? Maybe I'll sit you guys up here again. Of course, this one the whole stud wants to turn out. Not too big of a deal, but wish it wouldn't. Oh, this one. Oh, this. Well, it's coming off the way it should. So those of you, some of you probably know, this is not the original water pump for this tractor. This is like for the later, you know, be like 50 series and stuff. It's supposed to have a smaller water pump on it. But I can show you. There's 602 over here's got one, you know, what it should have. But it should look something like this, a smaller one. So you can't actually buy them new yet. What we do is we usually buy kits from Stom down there in Washington, Kansas, and just rebuild them. I do have a couple of them on hand. I know that 704 diesel I got needs one. My 708 was leaking, but I greased it and it doesn't seem to be leaking anymore. I've been watching the oil of them, make sure it didn't, you know, go inside. There isn't going inside. There's a wheat pole down here in the bottom that you always need to make sure is you know, is cleared out. Otherwise you could get, you know, water in your crankcase. I've heard a lot of stories of guys, you know, taking heads off of tractors, stuff like that, thinking their heads are cracked because they had coolant in the oil. But you know, these water pumps were known for leaking into the crankcases, and you know, 9 times out of 10 that was probably all it was. But so that's always one of the first things we check. I can't say that I've ever necessarily had one that had coolant in the crankcase yet. All the weep holes I've come across have always just leaked. You'll just kind of notice to be coolant running down like your lower radiator hose. But you know, it's something to watch out for. There's actually kind of a hidden bolt on these water pumps too. This one down here actually goes all the way down through, you know, and holds on the water pump as well. So if you're looking at it and it's like, well, you just gotta take those, you know, those 4 nuts off. I'm like, well, nope, that's wrong. There's more to it. So just so you ain't over here prying and end up breaking something. This nice grease down here on it. No, that was not the one. It must be this one. So it's this bolt right here is the one that goes all the way through and helps hold this water pump on. So for those that didn't know, you know, make sure you take that one out too before you just start yanking it off, because you could break something otherwise. Okay, so there's that. Let me show you this. So usually when I'm out here working, I don't know if you guys ever see him much or not, but this is usually what he's doing. You know, sitting there laying, he's got his toy there with him, but always likes to play. But, all right, I'm gonna get some more of this stuff ready, and then I'll bring you guys back. I think next we might work on getting ready to roll this front end out away from here. So, okay, so there is bolts that go in from the frame rail. You guys can see that there, you know, into the engine block. So there's supposed to be, I think, 2 on each side. The front ones on this thing are gone already. But anyways, I got this one over here ready to go. We'll zip it out. But, yeah. You know, these tractors really relatively are very simple to split, but you know, the new ones, it'd take you a few days to get to you know, where we're starting out at. So but we got to get these bolts out here for this side. You know, that's all that's left over here then. There is a line that goes, you know, up here to the steering. We'll take that off probably. Or do we want to maybe take it off up here? We got 2 choices. We could take it off here, or we can do it down here. Looking at it, you know, if the engine's staying, we probably better take it off down here. That way we don't have to deal with this bend going around this stuff. So we'll take it off down here. We might end up taking it off both places and actually getting it all the way out of the way when we go to take the engine out. But we'll get to that. I think over here I'm pretty much all ready. We can just start taking these lines off. 5/8 there. You know, some of these lines went to that power steering pump. They probably wouldn't even have to come off, but there's one clamp there I could undo, but it'll be a little nicer just to have them out of the way completely here. I might, you know, I'll probably what I'll do is tag them and, you know, say what they are, and I'll probably keep them here instead of letting them just sit out there with the tractor. They don't seem to be in bad shape anyways, but don't know until you put pressure to them. That one's got a little oil in there yet. Okay, we're gonna get this clamp off of here. I did get, you know, this one off, so take this clamp off. A couple of these lines are gonna be completely free. They'll be ready to go. Come completely off. So let's see, it should be these two here that went to the power steering pump are now completely free. So get that out of the way. I'm gonna get that ground clamp there off. It's kind of dangling, just in the way. Much of this stuff we can get off of here, the better. 9/16. The other one must be on the other side. Yeah, that'll do it. So, this down. Wheel. That'll probably go to the iron. But okay. So now we're ready to take the bolts off the frame. I am gonna jack up a little more, just get a little more weight off up here. Okay. So it looks like for the most part we got most of the weight off. This tire. Yep, pretty good. I'm gonna throw a couple blocks around the tires here. I don't want it to roll. I'm gonna get this line off right here, and then I think we're gonna be home free. So. Alright, get that off. So I'm going to take this one here completely out, which is going to make you guys fall. Okay. So I got this one out. This one here, I'm just going to loosen it. You know, main thing, I don't want this front end to be completely ready to fall all the way out of here yet. Do the same thing on the other side. It's kind of acting like there's still maybe a little bit of weight on here yet. Let me go ahead and take a little more pressure off. Okay. There we go. That looks a lot better. Very much holding it there now. Just trying to decide. Well, I think we'll be okay. Just gotta be careful. Yeah, that's, you know, like I said, there ain't really that much weight here holding this. Okay, so the battery ended up dying there, but I got the other battery in. Set it down nice. You know, got it sitting here. I could see it kind of start dragging a little bit back, and I realized the little red light on the GoPro wasn't blinking. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this out here a little bit more. You guys can watch here. You know, they're not terribly heavy. Just kind of get it rolled out in a way, and I'll show you what the whole tractor looks like now. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah. Okay. So now that you know we got this over here, this is what we got left of the tractor. So ain't much. I think I'll probably plug the loader tractor in, go in. It's about lunchtime, go and eat lunch, I think I'll probably cut this video here. The next video will take this engine off and get the fuel tank off, and maybe like these steps, some of the stuff you know I want to get off here and keep around here yet, but that'll be the plan. So anyways, continue to like and subscribe, and you know, as always, really do appreciate you guys watching, and you know, comment anything you guys like or don't like. So anyways, appreciate it all.